apparently if you suntan your balls, your testosterone level increased by 200%.
Yeah, I did that today.
And you posted a photo of you.
just sunning my balls. Yeah, I did that today.
Is that actually legit?
Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of Defiant Talk. It's your host here, Sid, and my co-founder and co-host, Jamie. How are you, mate?
Not too bad, mate. We've got Ben Abstacker in today. How are you doing?
I'm doing delicious. Thank you very much for having me. It's happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, mate.
Let's go.
So this guy's the epitome of positivity. I mean, I have the pleasure of seeing him, once every couple of days, if not every day at the gym in Bondi. Mate, happy Wednesday to you.
Thank you very much. Happy Wednesday, Sid.
Good stuff.
Really looking forward to the chat. Very grateful to be here.
Yeah, awesome. So just to introduce yourself to the audience. So you're basically a fitness guru, bodybuilding champion. You've won titles such as Mr. Physique Australia and Australian Fitness Model Champion.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. And you're also a master personal trainer, motivational speaker, and inspiring entrepreneur.
Yes, that's correct.
So
Nailed it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What an intro. We're done here. Let's wrap it.
We call it. It's time.
Yeah,
it's
that's
done.
it. Done.
So, man, Ben, tell us about your early life a little bit, where you grew up, kind of what your upbringing looked like.
I'm originally from the country, so a small country town outside New South Wales called Narromine. So it's about 5 hours west of Sydney. Population of 3,500 people. Grew up on a small hobby farm with the endeavour to be a crusty demon, so freestyle motocross guru, or the next Steve Irwin. And I did both of those. So I would terrify my parents by going out and catching brown snakes, black snakes, goannas, all types of lizards. And I would ride like an absolute maniac on my motocross bike. Spent a lot of time in hospital and off the bike too. So I grew up in that like rough, tough, very fun country boy environment. And absolutely had the best time.
So after that, you were actually a sales executive in your past life. So how did you go from this sort of country life into the sales executive life, and then now into this? Like,
it's a really good question.
So
I got sent away to a private school, St. Joey's, at the age of 16. So my parents could pretty quickly identify. Look, I was a school captain in primary school. High school got off to a bit of a rocky start. I was having a lot of fun, getting in a little bit of trouble. They could quickly identify.
Were you boarding at the time?
Yeah. I got sent in straight into this rough and tough rugby school. I'm someone that didn't hit puberty till I was about 21. So I was one of the smallest dudes in the year, which made me like an easy picking for bullying. So I was always like on the back foot. But I was very grateful for that time there. And then it wasn't until I found the bill for how much my parents were paying, and I looked at the envelope and I was, holy fucking shit. I better really do something with this opportunity and not waste it. So then simply from there, I became the hardest worker in the room with studying. Got an amazing UAI, and that got me a full ticket to Sydney Uni to study business or economic social science. From there, I went into being a corporate capacity in recruitment. And I spent 9 years as a corporate executive before burning the boat and going full-time fitness.
Burn the boats.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in that. There's no plan B.
So I want to kind of take it back to what you said. You were very much grateful for the bullying.
Yeah.
What are some of the lessons that you learned there?
Well, I would never do that to other people. That's the number one thing. I despise bullying, whether it's online, face-to-face. I'll be the first to step in. And that just gave me a mantra moving forward to help others, not pull them down. I think if you look at any successful person, they're always lifting others up. It's only the weaker ones that are, their insecurities coming out of them and they're pulling people down. So it really gave me exactly the idea or philosophy in life of what not to do. And then just stand up to the bullies. Like anything in life, once you step up to them, they go to water. And that's one thing I also learned.
So when you were in your sort of sales executive role, were you training at that time?
Yeah, I just started out because originally I was a sack dog. So I was
What's a sack dog?
That was my nickname at college and university.
Okay.
Basically
was that in reflection of the way that you looked?
Yeah, well, it was just in reflection of the way that I carried myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had this thing in the frat houses or the colleges called the dog, and it was this guy that would cut piss or drink a lot of beers, and then everyone would yell out dog, 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 dog. And I had to get on the highest piece of equipment or table or bar or wherever we were, pull my pants down and go, I like dogs. You like dogs, woof, woof, woof. And then I'd scull a beer and everyone would cheer. And then last name was Handsaker. And then sack dog, and it rolled on from there.
Right. So do you think that maybe the bullying was the bullying something that actually helped you get into the training and want to sort of feel
good about yourself 100%,
and self-motivated and stuff like that?
Yeah, because like if I fast forward to the 5-year reunion after been doing like 5 years of training, I'd actually had 2 of the bullies come up to him and apologize. Like, shit, man, I'm sorry for what I did to you and da-da-da-da. And then I, said, look, it's the past. Everything happened. You were young. There's no harm, no foul. And then just in that moment, I quickly realized that physical presence, you're going to be not really a target for bullies.
Yeah.
And also you can offset what bullies do. So I can step in a lot of the times and people will back off people.
Yeah. And probably aside from that too, just you looking and feeling good about yourself.
Yeah,
just
100%.
The way you carry yourself when you're walking around. Yeah. There's a lot to be said for that as well.
Yeah, so, it's confidence, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
So if you look good, you feel good, you do good.
Knowing you on a personal level too, I recall you telling me a story about a girl as well. Do you want to tell us about that?
100%. So go back to the sack dog. the sack dog, look, had my eye on this girl in my university lecture, had a few, passing conversations. I was like, look, she might actually like me for my personality. I was pretty wrong in assuming that. And then one night at the university bar, I worked up the courage after a couple of tequilas to go ask her out. And I've gone over and she's sitting over there. My buddy's actually working at the bar, so they've turned down the music, ultimate stitch up, so everyone can hear and watch what's going on. Whole bar's watching. I walk over and I'm like, would you go out with me? And she stands up out of the seat like this. It's like, I'd never date a fat, useless shit. Boom. Like, never been like. You talk about bullying or like being berated. That was like just the bang. Like I feel like, that scene where Milhouse gets his heart ripped out and stomped on?
Yeah.
The Simpsons, that's what it felt like. And then I had almost like a little tear, looked around, everyone's like, oh. And then I walked out the door, and on that walk home, I went back to the university college. And on that walk home, I seen a news agency stand, and there was a men's health cover. And I said, I bet you that guy never had that happen to him. And then straight away it triggered this journey. I went into the gym the next day, didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing, didn't know anything about training, nutrition or diet. But I went in there with just this burning desire and intention to become better, and she'd really like lit up like this big fire that became relentless. And then it just became a journey. And then 4 years later, I was on the exact same magazine cover.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
What a story.
So in regards to taking action, obviously, and you going to the gym that very next day or that following week, what did that routine look like? How did you actually step into this world, and how did you progress from taking your first steps?
Well, it looked very basic and very weak. I remember going into the gym, absolutely looking at all the big jack guys or strong rugby players. I couldn't even bench the bar, which is like 20 kgs. I'm like, and it's coming up sideways. But what I would do is I was asked questions. So I would quickly identify, the alphas of the guys that look the best in the gym, and I'd just ask them questions, ask them to tag along their workouts, even if I pick up their weights. I was just this sponge, and it became like my magnificent obsession. And I went in with the mindset of like, just be better than you were yesterday. Just be better than you were yesterday. Just be better than you were yesterday. And it was just this thing that enabled me to take out stress, made me feel good, And then it just began that journey. But yeah, very basic routine at the start. And then I'd just read bodybuilding websites and men's health magazines and still routines. And yeah.
So it's super clear, like you've got a really strong mindset, and obviously routine plays heavily into everything that you do. Talk to us a bit about your morning routine. Like, what does that look like?
Yeah.
And
I've had the same morning routine for the past 8 years.
Right.
Big believer or advocate in, like, my adage is win the morning, you win the day. So I wake up every morning at 4:30 a.m. I don't hit the snooze alarm. I don't hit the alarm or the snooze button. My phone's outside the bedroom, so I have to get out of my bed. From there, I then post a quote to Instagram or social media for others to say, look, here's a bit of motivation. People come to that page. I'm up at this time. Let's go. And then from there, I make my bed because I'm a big believer in stacking wins in the morning. If you have a shit day, you come home to a made bed. From there, I have like 2 or 3 glasses of water, have my coffee. I then roll around to my speaker system. I play my favorite song, whatever it is at the moment. I was listening to The Weeknd this morning, the vibe, and I dance in front of the mirror. And I just jump up and down. I laugh at myself, and I get this positive psychology. Endorphins going, lymphatic system's going. From there, I do a bit of Wim Hof breathing. So I'll do 3 rounds of the circular motion of the breathing. I'll jump into a nice roast hot shower. At the end of the shower, I'll jam it all the way to cold, and I'll have a 3-minute cold shower. I get out of the shower. I then play my Calm app. I meditate for 10 minutes. From there, I get out my 5-minute journal. I write out what I'm grateful for, what will make today great, and the daily affirmation. I then write out my yearly goals and my weekly goals. I've been doing that for the past 8 years. Wow. So if I win that morning routine in the morning, by the time I get out my door, I've already got the personal integrity. I'm in a great position to empower others, and I've cultivated a positive mindset. So nothing's really going to, like, people can tell when they hit, like, in the morning when I come to them at the gym, it might be like 10 to 6. They're flat as fuck. And I'm like, boss, like, happy Monday. And I'm like, geez, what's this going on? And it's just that morning routine. It's like thinking of ourselves as like a power station. We've got energy, like generating it.
That's amazing, man. That sounds like a lot of steps, but you've obviously got it down pat.
Yeah, it is a lot of steps. Don't get me wrong. It'll take 45 to 60 minutes every day. But I'm a big believer in habits and what create a great life.
Did you kind of lead up to that? Let's say, take it back to 80 years ago. Was it just cold turkey? One day you woke up and you're like, this is the person I want to be. This is going to be my morning routine. Or what was the process for you to actually start getting to this mindset?
It's a really good question. So the way I got there, right, is because I battled mental health. And when I was at rock bottom, I was depressed. I couldn't get out of fucking bed till like 3:30 in the afternoon. I looked like death. And I hated Monday mornings, and I hated myself. And I'd look in the mirror and I'm like, fuck, man, you're a piece of shit. You can't even get out of bed at like 7 a.m. Like, I'd sleep all the way to the afternoon. And I'd be from like hitting the snooze button all the time. And I'd just hit the snooze button. And you just have this like disjointed sleep. And then you're drowsy, right? And then you're waking up like halfway through the day, and then you're not sleeping at night. And I began that cycle. So the first thing was, don't hit the fucking snooze button. Wake up at 7 o'clock. That's all I wanted to do. And then the next thing actually was be in a mindset where I'm grateful for what I've got that day, whether it's the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever it is. So I just began with that gratitude. And then I would quickly identify by watching or listening to podcasts like this, like the morning routines of others. And I'd just take little bits, and I just kept adding them in, pulling away, adding in, pulling away. So it was just built up over time, like a house, brick by brick.
What do you think about the snooze button? I know you got a different view on that one.
I mean, for me, what works for me, and I think it's very subjective when it comes to kind of mindset. We're neighbors essentially. My first alarm goes off at 5 a.m, and then I've got a snooze at once, and then I'm up. So it kind of goes off at 5:11 the second time, and it's just my way to kind of give myself a little tiny reward as soon as I wake up in the morning. But I think it's very subjective. I've tried different things.
What happens in the 11 minutes? What do you do? Do you like
go back to sleep?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
and is it like you're dreaming or you're talking to yourself or what's the?
I know that it's kind of like in a race how you've got the set and then you've got the gun going off. For me, the first alarm is the set.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Crazy. Like so many different things work for different people. But I like what you said, just listening to different people, taking a few bits, trying them. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's finding something that works for you.
1,000% correct. Yeah. So true.
Yeah. So talk to us a little bit about mental health. You touched on it briefly before. You said that you did have some struggles with that. Are you involved in any sort of causes with mental health? What's your sort of view on it?
big advocate in that space. Like obviously if you've been known as the happy or the positive guy, a lot of people reach out and like ask you, look, I'm at rock bottom, depressed, I'm anxious, whatever. I need some guidance or some help. So I'm always there in that capacity, but more so to the point of being, affected directly through suicide. I was a first survivor of my, unfortunately, my sister's boyfriend's passing or where he took his own life. And just to be there and be one of the first survivors and to see, unfortunately, like such a beautiful young man being taken away. That really like drilled into me that I never want to see that happen again to anyone, and more the role on the pain that the family suffered and the others, the collateral damage. Just to see that then drove me into like any initiatives where I can like lend a part. We did the long run last year with Movember. I've been part of that a couple of years. Do a walk and talk in Bondi every month. It's free for everyone. We wear a yellow shirt. We have a barbecue, we walk, we talk, and we talk about all the shit stuff, the things that people have been bottling up and they're too afraid to talk about, with that stigma of masculinity, like, the alpha is never weak. Well, no, we are weak. We go through shit. We need to take it from out here out into the open. And 9 times out of 10, other people have gone through it and they can like give you some advice rather than think like it's all on you. It's not. It's always like you'll never walk alone is the thing.
So what's your way of dealing with negativity? Because like obviously you're so positive, and even just following you and seeing what you post, everything is you can't help but be positive when you sort of come across your content. But how do you deal with negativity when it comes your way?
Yeah, and just to add on that as well, like, again, knowing you and from the outside, sometimes it might seem like you're completely unshakable. And I guess my question is, do you have down days and how do you deal with them? Yeah.
I'm human. Like I'll have off days, but I try not to live there. With negativity, I embrace it. I try and turn it into a positive. I look through the silver lining. If ever I get a hater or a doubter, I just take the lesson and put fuel on the fire. When I have a down day or a slow day, I use the tools that I know that will help me get out of that slump, which is exercise, go for a swim, go for a walk, pick up the phone, call your parents, talk to a mate, go get a delicious coffee. Just all those little things that I know that can ground me and pull me out of those days.
And the small things, right?
Yeah. And being present. I think, depression's a cause of looking back in the past. Can't change the past, unfortunately. All you can do is, learn from it. And then anxiety is like looking into the future too much. We've got no power over that. Tomorrow's not even promised for me, not anyone in this room. So just having that introspect that what you're going through is temporary. You're either going towards a storm, you're going through one, or you're just coming out of one. And that's life. And that's what I accept.
I think that's such good advice pretty much for anyone that's gone through some negativity. And, there's so many things that you can be negative about every single 100%. Day if you just let it sort of come to you. But always being able to, even failures, like stacking them and, using them as a staircase to where you want to go to rather than just letting it all pile onto you.
Failures are fucking, I love them. They're the best. That's a report card right back there where you can be better.
Exactly right.
That's it.
So just on that, what advice would you give to people who are actually struggling to maintain a positive outlook on life?
So I would go back to get a routine. And what I mean by routine is have a set time when you go to bed and when you wake up. Next thing is exercise. You don't have to go to the gym. It can be walking, take your dog for a walk, get moving, go do some push-ups, whatever. Just get like energy and motion, right? So it takes it out of your head, forces you to be present. Next thing I'll do is I would try and find a hobby or something that you're passionate about, that you can do better than anyone else. I don't care whether it's baking cakes, collecting hats, running, whatever it is, it's your thing, right? And that's the thing you can do best. So once you can find your purpose, and what I mean by purpose is what makes you happy, what gives you energy. When you can find that thing, focus on that, focus on routine, focus on exercise. And also meditation is like the most underrated thing ever. We live in an age where it's like, so we're just come out constantly with content, things and tasks. We never get a moment to ourselves.
Comparison.
Yeah, judgment, comparison. Comparing everyone's highlight reels to our life. We don't see their down days. But yeah, just jump. I rate the Calm app. Look, just jump on there for 10 minutes, 10-minute meditation. You're present. It's delicious. She's got an amazing voice.
Delicious. Delicious. I love it.
And I'm sure that you as a personal trainer and wellness coach, sometimes you might get pushback from people going, hey, I understand you've got a routine. This is your life, but I'm busy. I've got kids. I've got this life that I can't get out of. What are some of the things that people mentally have to commit to actually be able to break the pattern?
Reframe the story. Like people got this story that like I'm the victim, life's so hard, fucking shit's going against me. I've got this, I can't do this. No, reframe the story. So many people have gone through 10 times worse than what you're going through now and come out the other side triumphant. If you have a look at any of the greats we look up to, they go through adversity. They come from rock bottom. They come from struggle. Their life is a shitback disaster and they turn it around. They're the people that we look up and admire. If you've got everything going against you right now, that's a fucking gift. It's your gift to turn around. And I'd say to them like, look, if you've got all that going against you, you've got the most amazing opportunity right now because you've been through the University of Hard Knocks. You've built a formidable character. Now it's time to turn it around and teach others.
Every setback is an opportunity for a comeback.
Oh, yeah. Right? I love the setbacks. I like when shit goes against me. It's good.
And I think it's the narrative that you tell yourself as well. Like Sid actually sent me something the other day and I can't remember the exact stat, but it was like something like we have 90,000 thoughts a day or something like that. And 85% of them are the same thoughts that we had yesterday.
And they're negative.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing
too. Knowing that stat, if we just start telling ourselves and changing the narrative, things are going to start moving in the right direction.
100%. And then we wake up like at the same time, doing the same thing, thinking the same thought. Well, if that's not working for you, wouldn't you just try and think a different thing?
Yeah.
It's about breaking patterns.
Yeah.
There's a quote from Dr. Joe Dispenza where he says, neurons that wire together, fire together. So it's about breaking that pattern and actually responding in a way that's completely outside of your own persona. So breaking the habit of being yourself.
Yeah. No, I love that.
So would you call yourself spiritual?
Look, I don't attest to any religion. I believe that there's like some higher power. I believe everyone should have something that they're like. If you believe in a certain God or religion, I'm full for that. Like I love that sort of stuff. I believe in like connection and energy. I believe that the universe has these patterns and like thoughts become things, energy attracts, and being spiritual and understanding that life is, like Buddhists would say, it is suffering. And understanding, well, if it's suffering, like how can I make it a better journey and a story? So spiritually, I believe in, there's a higher power. I just don't know what it is. And look, I may never know, and I don't actually know if anyone knows. Yeah.
I actually started entertaining this idea that the same way that we have cells as humans. Cells are conscious in the way that they evolve.
Yeah.
Humans could perhaps be the cell of the earth, which means that then the earth is conscious, and the earth could be a cell of a bigger organism that could be God. And this whole thing is conscious moving forward, and everyone's just living so unconsciously trying to chase the next thing when all we are is just conscious being that are just living a physical life.
That's very deep. And I like that. That's cool, man. I like for my birthday, it's April 2nd. Yeah, I'm going to a cabin in the woods by myself for 4 nights.
Catching a few brown snakes.
Yeah, no, I don't know about brown snakes. Yeah, we could have a look at that if there's any snakes out there. I'm not scared. I'll take the crocodile and knee knife and hat. But going there to like journal and meditate and like disconnect to reconnect to sort of like ask myself those deeper questions.
That was a delicious topic.
Yeah.
So let's kind of shift the focus back to you. So tell us a little bit about the world of bodybuilding. How did you fully get into it from a level where you're now competing and, you know, winning awards and championships?
Yeah.
And how far do you actually want to take it?
Yeah, it's really good. So how I got into fitness modeling, so I compete in like what equivalent would be like men's bikini or swimwear, right? So you're on stage. It used to be 3 different categories. You come out first in swimwear or what you wear to the beach. They would judge you on markability, physique, so your portions, your balance, your symmetry, your conditioning, your poise, your looks, and your stage like posing.
Presence, yeah.
Then you come out in a theme wear, which is
Speedos or boardies?
See, this is my first ever competition in 2011. I competed in the first ever fitness modeling show in Australia called the AMB Asia Pacific. I Googled it and I went up there. I coached myself, had no fucking idea what I was doing. I made every mistake you can possibly make. It was quite funny. Like everyone come out in the swimwear. I come out in board shorts with Peter Andre and the glasses, mysterious girl, and tip water down myself with the abs. And judges like, okay, he's got something about him. Like, I don't know what it is, but he's got a decent, he's got a decent physique. And then the suit round I did pretty well. Boxing, I come out and I was just throwing like ridiculous combos. the MC was loving that. I also burnt my face because I went in the solarium the day before, which is a fucking no-no. So I made all these mistakes, right? But in this world of fitness modeling, you're putting your physique on stage to be judged by, say, 6 judges, and they're looking to take points off you and then basically rank you. And then you're ranked and then you get your numbers. So I started in 2011, did that show, made every mistake you make, called the judges up. I still finished 4th out of 60. So it was a decent ranking. I was in the top 5, got a trophy. I was pretty happy with that. Went away again, prepped for a whole 12 months, come back like 10 times more shredded, more knowledgeable, come 3rd. But I got picked for the Australian team. They took me to Vegas and then come 6th in the world in that division and then come back a year later. So it's 3 years of been chasing this goal, gave it everything, and I won the show. And
well done, man.
Yeah, that was like one of the things where it took 3 years. Like, how many people do you like, without bringing it into like, it's a good metaphor for small business, right? People think they're going to be an overnight success and it's going to got this great idea. I'll just jack up a website, get all these sales, boom. No, it's like a big journey. It's like 3, 5. Yeah, it's a process, right? Making mistakes, getting feedback, coming back, being resilient, being positive, and eventually you will get there.
Iterating, testing, iterating.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Failing forward.
Yeah. So tell us a bit about abstacker.com. So you're on a mission to inspire tens of thousands of people. And
I've upped that to 1 million.
1 million.
1 million, right. Yeah.
Okay.
I met my one of my mentors or idols. I don't really like the word idol, but you probably would say he was. At a speaking gig in 2000 it would have been 14. His name's Greg Plitt. Basically, he's got a platform or a website where he's got 1 million subscribers on a membership platform. Got these crazy ass training videos, motivational videos and stuff. We were on the same dance card for the speaking gig, and I told him I wanted to inspire 10,000 people, and he said, "Man, that's fucking what is that? 10,000 people? You're fucking better than that." million, like, let's go. And I was like, all right, it's $1 million.
Bigger dreams, 10x everything.
Yeah, 10x everything. So I had that website, sold an ebook series, fat to fitness model. Also had a supplement line and company. Did pretty well. I was running that side hustle whilst working full-time at salesforce.com.
Okay.
So I was doing 60, 70 hours a week in a suit. I'd sleep in the office. I'd work the side hustle unknowing, like in meeting rooms, getting that business going. I'd fucking send out the protein myself. I wrote like all these books and programs, and I was just like probably like anywhere from 80 to 90 hours a week. I was really getting after it. And then got that up to a capacity where I was able to follow my passion and leave Salesforce. That business went pretty well until we got hacked. Some Russian guys found out that I had a little bit of crypto or Bitcoin. Ooh. Went into the platform to ransom, like, hey, we understand this. Send us some Bitcoin. It's like, who are you? No. Yeah. And fucking burst. Like 1,000 malicious files got sent through the website, fully took down the CRM, took all the customer information, butchered the website, wrecked the whole system. Wow. And then the business partner at the time was like, look, I don't know what to do, man. I don't know what to say to you, but yeah, it's fucked.
Hashtag Bitcoin.
Wow.
Yeah. But
it's funny you say that. My missus actually got hacked last night.
Oof,
and they basically
savage.
Yeah. I mean, not to get off topic here or anything.
No, you're on topic.
Tell us about your missus, Jack.
Yeah. No, it's just like the sort of scams that they're doing now with Bitcoin and stuff like that. It's insane, man. Like, there's literally data breaches. Everyone's info is available online. Oh, they're just ransoming everyone.
Crazy.
It's nuts. I looked into it last night after I saw that. I'm like, can't believe this is.
But I'm building
so
that
common.
Website now again. Okay. With
let us know if you need a hand, man.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Put it on the record. So Ben, for people that kind of look up to you and look at your physique, how important would you say that your diet is into constructing, the way that you look right now?
It's like 80% diet, 20% training. I would probably, I don't know.
80-20. So 80 diet, 20 training. So essentially you can never outwork a bad diet.
No, you can aesthetically, if you want to look like phenomenal, I would say it's majority diet and just understanding what works for you. So certain diets or eating plans just don't work for others. It depends a lot around your heritage, what you grew up eating, like your gut health plays a big part in this, right? Some people do really well on vegan, other people do really well on carnivore. For me, I understand I like meat and I also love eating plants. So I just mix the two. Yep. Got a pretty unorthodox style. I just eat 2 big meals a day.
Okay.
So what does your diet actually look like?
So like I can run it through it right now. It varies each day, but like today I've just eaten 2 large salads.
Okay.
And that's all I'll eat for the day. So it's just 500 grams of poached chicken, 500 grams of sweet potato, rocket, spinach, avocado, and then I had turmeric, chili, and then some chickpeas in one of them, and the other one was like lamb, similar sort of.
So do you calorie count?
No, not at the moment. When I compete, it's meticulous.
Yep.
So I'm in off season now. And what I mean by off season.
How much does that diet actually vary from when you compete and when you don't? Because when you compete, you go through cycles, right?
Yeah, you go through a bulk where you're adding lean muscle, so you're in a calorie surplus. So when I prepped for the WBF Worlds in 2019, at the peak of my bulk, I was eating 6,000 calories. Fucking bulked up to 115 kilos. I would sit there with a big ladle and bowl and eat my food. And like an example of a meal would be like a whole carton of eggs, half a packet of oats, 5 scoops protein powder, and half a tub of peanut butter. And like, it's about 1,600 calories or something. It takes you like 45 minutes to eat it. And then before you go into bed, you're eating like a whole block of dark chocolate, 3 YoPros, those yogurts and a shake. And you think, oh, that's so cool. You get to eat all that food. It's like, man.
Sickening, yeah.
It's just you're putting like and on and on and on.
So is it true that when you bulk, you can actually eat anything? Like, because you hear of these bodybuilders, kind of eating Hungry Jacks and whatnot. Is that the healthy and correct way of doing it?
I tried that and I didn't really rate it.
Okay.
Look, I'm an undercover fatty. You know, I come from being a sack dog, so I love an eating challenge. That's like any challenge in life. I love doing it. If it's particularly eating, I go all right. But I fell into that trap of thinking you can eat whatever you want, and that it just added a whole lot of body fat. I got real fluffy around the edges, and you know, when you got 8 weeks to shred it off and you're going from 115 kilos trying to get down to 88, oof, you're regretting all those burgers or little L's.
So on that, how much does that diet actually change? So you go from surplus at about 6,000 calories.
Oh, it's a big deficit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that just became meticulous.
And what does that deficit look like for you? Is it 1,500 calories? And what do you actually eat?
It was aggressive, right? Because I had to get under this weight. So it was a deficit around 1,000 calories. And then I had to do 1,000 calories of cardio a day. So it's like sitting on the Stairmaster for 65 minutes or the assault bike or whatever you want to do. And then you're just eating, you know, chicken, broccoli, sweet potato or fish, asparagus, rice. And it's just you detach the emotion from eating. You're eating for aesthetics, function and purpose and a goal. So you just have got a really good spice and sauce game.
Do you find your moods kind of changing through the?
I see these bodybuilders or other competitors like not handling the preps that well and being like hangry and moody and stuff. Like you fucking chose to do this. Stop stop
bitching. Eh?
Yeah, stop telling me that you have to eat fish and rice and asparagus. Be grateful that you got fucking a meal on your table. Like I don't understand the whole complaining around like doing a prep or shredding so hard. Just like become emotionless, turn yourself into a machine. You only have to do it for 6 weeks and you get the result on stage.
Awesome, man.
So Ben, you mentioned that you love any challenge, right? What are some of the biggest challenges that you've accomplished, I guess, in the last 12 months?
Really good. So I've done like 2 ultras, 5 marathons, like running marathons. I've done the David Goggins challenge. Probably one of the most brutal ones was that long run where we set out on the hottest day last year to run from Bondi Beach to Palm Beach and back, which was a triple marathon. 120.
126, right?
0.6, yeah. And like, I kid you not, I'm from the bush. I understand heat really well. Being out there, like running on the side of the road when it's like 43, on the road, it's probably going to be about 45. Like your iPhone's dying because it's saying dangerous overheating temperature and people looking at you going, fucking guy's running, man.
And you're just like, let's go.
Yeah, and I'd flick like,
delicious.
Yeah, delicious. I'd lost all my toenails and suffered like pretty much heat stroke. I was delirious. Did a marathon on a ski erg. That was pretty spicy. Took like about 3 hours. And we swam 10 kilometers together.
Yeah.
With Sid, which that was fucking awesome. I really liked that one. It was different.
How long did that take? 10Ks swimming?
It was about, actually, there's a bit of backstory there too, because I saw Ben put up a post on Instagram and he was like, I think it was one of the things that he wanted to do like for the year or something.
Yeah.
And I hit him up and I'm like, man, when you want to do this 10K swim, like I'd love to do it with you because obviously I come from a swimming background. And he goes, yeah, let's do it Sunday. And this was like the Thursday.
Yeah, that's exactly how it did.
And I didn't even respond to that message. I just left it on red. And then Ben and I do a weekly run that's called the 440, which starts at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, every Saturday morning in Bronte Beach. And I remember kind of rocking up, and after the run, Ben was telling everyone how he was going to do this 10K swim the next day. Yeah. And in my head, I was burning. I was like, fuck, I can't bitch it. Like, he's actually going to do it.
Yeah.
So I went home and I just texted him. I'm like, okay, I'm in. And then the next day we did it. It was supposed to be an ocean swim, right?
But it was gnarly out there, like full big ass conditions, quite dangerous. Like no one was out the back swimming. Yeah. Probably glad that we made an executive decision not to do it out there because, you know, I would have ended up on Bondi Rescue in my leopard skin budgies saying, let's go, coughing up water. Because that's how I'd go out, like swinging with my pink cap and stuff. That even like people at icebergs were watching us swim this marathon. They were like, fucking how many laps are these guys doing? Yeah. Like, and they were just like.
And Benny's like, 160 to go.
Yeah. It was 200 laps, right? And people were like, yeah. Not even the accomplished swimmers were getting their head around it. Quite funny.
That's a good moment.
Yeah.
So you're known as the abs doctor.
Yes.
My wife's going to love that I'm asking this question, but what tips can you give people for achieving their dream six-pack?
It's a really good question. I like that one. So you would go into a calorie deficit.
Mm-hmm.
So getting the body fat percentage to get your abs out as a male is probably going to be around 12 to 14%, depending on your structure. For a female, it's like more like 16 to 18%. But how you'd achieve that is just simply eating less calories than you burn.
Okay.
Yeah. So running into a deficit. I would do that through whole foods. So clean whole foods. I'd follow then a training program. So I'd do, say, 3 weight sessions a week, 2 cardio, whether they're running, walking, or swimming.
Would the workouts have to be core based?
Yeah. So that's exactly where what I would do there is I'd do, say, like a chest, back, abs, and then I'd do a legs, and then I'd do a shoulders, arms, abs.
Okay.
And then you follow that over a 6-week trajectory. And then you get that dream body. Let's go.
Nice.
You might get a program out of this.
Go back and write down the program.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, I think we're ready for a section of our podcast, which we call Rocket Fire Questions.
Yeah,
so
awesome.
It's essentially, Jamie and I always say that it's 10 questions, but it's actually 9. We'll ask a question each.
Okay.
We'd love to hear your answers, Ben.
Awesome.
So the first question is, if you could turn back time and change one thing in your journey, what would it be and why?
These are really good questions. I would learn to love myself more. So like not beat myself over past mistakes and failures, and just understand that that's part of the journey. I used to crucify myself for failures or, mistakes that I'd made, and just understand like that's part of the journey. And I would have started reading earlier too. Yeah, reading more books.
So how do you actually get over that judgment now? Is it just through the tools that you've been able to?
I write. What's the lesson? So when I make a mistake, I just write down what's the lesson. Yeah, I don't judge myself. We're human, like we're all imperfect. So no one's perfect. I've never met anyone that's perfect.
So you've actually already sort of answered this one, but we'll just ask again. What's the first thing you do when you wake up every morning?
I say, today's going to be a fucking great day. That's the first thing I do.
And then followed by, let's go.
Let's go.
Every single day you say that?
I get up. I say, today's going to be a fucking great day. That's the first thing.
I like
yeah.
I actually want to open like a little section here, which I was going to ask you off camera, but I saw something that you posted today on your Instagram.
Yeah, I know what you're going to ask you. The sunning of the balls? Is that it?
Where apparently if you suntan your balls, your testosterone level increased by 200%.
Yeah, I did that today.
And you posted a photo of you.
just sunning my balls. Yeah, I did that today.
Is that actually legit?
Yeah, I read the article. So a guy that was on their podcast, like Sam Bailey is a legend. So these two guys got their own podcast, interviewed me a few months ago, and they're all about biohacking. And I'm giving like Happy Thursday, and he's just like, yeah, make sure you sun your balls. I was like, what? And I wrote back, and he's like, told me increase his testosterone by 200%. So I took the opportunity today. The sun was like directly into my apartment, and I was just sunning my balls with my legs up. And like if the neighbors could see over, they would like,
let's go.
Let's go. But
is that getting added to the morning routine? Or?
I don't know. Like I feel pretty good. Like the test is pumping. I had a really good workout. So there might be something on this, right? So we should maybe add that to the routine. But the sun's not up when I get up.
That during lunch breaks.
I don't know about that. Not in public.
Hashtag sun your balls.
That's it. Question number 3. So who are your 3 dream dinner guests, dead or alive, and why?
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Elon Musk, Greg Plitt. And why? Schwarzenegger was absolutely instrumental in shaping my mindset. I love the way that guy came from nothing and absolutely dominated every single thing that he did with such a relentless work ethic. Elon Musk is just the man. I just am absolutely astounded by the guy's work ethic, attitude, and the big questions that he's trying to solve are just like game changers. So just even like being around that guy and asking him a few questions, I think he could get a huge ROI.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Plitt's passed away, so that's like one of my mentors from back in the day. So I'd love to go back and just send a few beers with that guy over dinner.
Send it.
Yeah.
I'm actually very surprised that you didn't say David Goggins.
Well, Goggins is up there, but I just don't know like how.
You don't want to have dinner with him.
Yeah, I don't even know if you'll eat. Like, I don't. Does a guy eat? I've never seen him eat anything. Like, and he's always like, my fridge is fucking empty. I'm like he's the man. Like, he's the man. But if you had him at a dinner party, you might start calling people out. Like, he calls Schwarzenegger a pussy, and that's it. And then Elon Musk, like, who are you? And next thing we're all out running. But yeah, Goggins, that's just a good pickup there. Goggins should have been on that list, but just don't know how he'd go to a dinner party.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, for a run or something.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be a dinner party.
So I'm pretty sure the answer to this is suntanning your balls. But what's the last new thing you've tried?
What's that?
What's the last new thing you've tried?
Yeah, it was suntanning my balls.
Yeah. I thought so.
Yeah, felt really good too.
Beautiful.
Yeah, nice.
So if you could only suggest one book, what would it be?
Atomic Habits, James Clear.
Nice.
Yeah.
You want to tell us a little bit about the book?
Yeah, so just basically he gives a beautiful synopsis and journey of how habits basically shape who we are in our lives, and that will basically determine your destiny. And he just has all these great stories and examples of small incremental habit changes that will have a compound interest effect on your life. So they're easy things that anyone can adopt, and they're free to do. And those habits can alter the trajectory of your life forever. And if people can just understand that habits shape like who you are, the character you are, and your destiny, and the impact you have on the world, then you're like, okay, what do I need to do tomorrow to ensure that I'll have a great life? Or the question is, will this habit get me closer towards my goals? Yeah, so that's why I rate that book.
What's the best advice you've ever received?
The best advice probably I've ever received would be better than you were yesterday. So only compare yourself to yourself. It's you versus you. It's your journey to own. That's the best advice I've ever had. Yeah, we all fall into this trap, right? Of like, one thing I'd say to my younger self is don't compare yourself to anyone on social media. And like, I'm guilty of it. Like, sometimes because I compete on stage against these guys with like godly physiques. I'm like, fuck, these guys are just a genetic absolute machine or freak. Could never be that guy. Or fucking, what I'm doing with myself now, I start like pinching myself. And, but yeah, so just don't compare yourself to someone's highlight reel on social media.
Awesome, man. Question number 7. When you reach the pearly gates of heaven, what do you want God, being him, her, or they, to say to you when they greet you?
Fuck, you're one badass dude. You like really had a crack at this life. You used up that body, you used up your potential, you made an impact, you left a legacy, and the world's going to be a better place because you were here. You went hard as fuck in life every day, and you did good things.
That's epic. I think that's the best answer of that.
And it was so like heartfelt.
Yeah.
It was so free.
Yeah. Just off the head, off the dome, man. Like,
Off the head.
Off the head, yeah, off the dome. What motivates you daily to be the best version of yourself?
I think there's a lot of people right now that are going through shit. And if I can be a leader, and I've got a lot of people now that look up to me or follow my journey, I want to inspire them to be the best version of themselves. And if I'm not on top of my game or getting out of bed and firing on all cylinders, I feel like I'm letting down them and I'm not coming like the best version of myself.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Yeah, we feel the same way. Like even with our team, there's a room full of 20 people that are all sort of looking up to you. And if you rock up with shit energy and just bad aura, then that's just going to flow through.
100%. Yeah, shit rolls downhill. Like you piss in the wind, it comes back.
Yeah, nice.
And the last question, what does the word defiant mean to you?
It means disrupting in an empowering way to define who you are by making others better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Ben,
all right, mate.
Absolute pleasure to have you. Again, I get to see you every day. So this was just a small addition. You're super inspiring. The amount of people that I've seen grow just, from the way that you're actually able to help them through their journey has been insane, man. And I'm glad that I can call you a mate.
Thank you very much for the beautiful and kind words. I'm extremely humbled and very grateful to be here. And that was a very delicious chat. I love the energy. I love the vibe. I love the questions. And I'd just like to congratulate you both on a stellar podcast and a stellar interview, and more so creating a company that you can be proud of. And congrats, boys. I'm really proud of you and girls. Well done. And, teamwork makes the dream work, and you've got an amazing team. I'm proud of you guys. Going to crush it.
Appreciate it.
Let's go. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it, Benny.